now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
4 men got out and started.
It was very rapid. There was no stop.
Word is spreading on social media that the 26-year-old man pronounced is a well-known Chicago rapper.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic.
Pronounced is a well-known Chicago rapper. This man, a passenger in that car, frantic, with media sources reporting on alleged crime Lil Durk committed. His attorneys have developed 3 strategies to get him out of jail in there. After the tragic death of a young Lil PAB in 2025, the trial would kick off in court with Lil Durk's lawyer presenting his defense. They argue that the lyrics in Durk's songs, which prosecutors claim are self-incriminating, are actually part of his alibi. This is similar to the strategy used in the Gassel trial. Durk's producer also spoke out in the M for Hire case, mentioning Jackboy and Lil Wayne in the song Babyface Ray. Prosecutors say the song brags about passing a little AB, but it was actually recorded 7 months before the incident. The court's paperwork even has a note on this. The initial project file was created and recorded before the death, with key lyrics that include, "Look on the news and see your son screaming, no, no," referring to Quando Rondo's presence when the situation unfolded. The man, a passenger in the car, was frantic during the incident. Regarding other lyrics, Lil Durk mentioned that they had the address and the place set up because there was a notice of Brick Baby. Brick Baby also stated he would have given up Quando Rondo's location if Durk had asked, since he is connected to the situation. Loyal to him, somebody from your hood like, "Listen, I didn't, but at."
From your hood like, "Listen, I didn't, but at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been coke if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar? Sure. I said if he make the call.
I said, can I leak a bar? Sure, I said, if he make the car right now, although Brick Baby supposedly promised not to spy on Lil Durk, it is kind of snitching. For Brick Baby to mention this in an interview, yet Lil Durk also having the no lyrics with Quando Rondo feels like one of the greatest coincidences in history. The situation took an interesting turn when the prosecutors introduced their own evidence against Lil Durk in court. His attorneys responded by stating, "We have over 230 gigabytes of digital evidence, which includes audio and video recordings, surveillance footage, and 20,000 pages of reports still being processed for discovery." PJ Academics highlighted that Durk's records are where it all began. Names of his songs and albums serve as a roadmap for the crimes that OTF perpetrated.
2021, his brother dies. 2022, the niggas who his brother, they get clapped. The to Vaughn, at least a cousin of theirs get clapped. 2023, he drops an album, I'm almost healed. You ever think about that, Chad? It's like poetic. 2020, Vaughn dies. 2021, his brother dies. 2022, get back for both those situations. 2023, I'm almost healed.
It appears that Lil Durk made a plan for himself by exacting retribution on all of the operations personnel who wronged him, which he then eventually. Since Lil Durk's attorneys were presenting an alibi for all the evidence, the prosecutors aimed to challenge some of the evidence used against him. The feds believe that Lil Durk needs to handle 2 key issues. First, Saint Mac, who was involved in the incident that led to his brother's death, and second, OTF Jam's baby mom, who passed away after Lil Durk discovered that Jam had been wearing a wire. The feds think OTF Jam is crucial to securing a conviction against Durk for all 3 crimes, especially after Durk found out that Jam was wearing a wire during an Instagram live. He could see Jam talking into the top of his jacket to check if everything was connected. Music, happy and Lee like back in the music. Day I'm going lie man, hey when I was growing up da all that hooing on the end got your man. It was revealed that the prosecution also looked into the other deaths linked to Durk. Lil Durk is linked in a newly unsealed file in a Chicago passing where he's alleged to be behind the crime involving Stephen Mac. It is believed that Mac was targeted as revenge for the past of Lil Durk's brother D. Thing as. In the court documents, It was noted that Lil Durk posted a tribute for D Thing on his Instagram story just 30 minutes after Stephen Mack's death. However, he quickly removed it after only 15 minutes. The next day, Durk shared a humorous Instagram story with the words, "Body said slap, car say slap." As the timeline for the Instagram Live was being created, it was revealed that the crime occurred just 48 hours later. Despite this, Durk's legal team worked on a second strategy to get him out of jail, which would soon be made public. Lil Durk's attorneys scored a big win in court when it was revealed that his swift prison transfer was due to problems within his cell block. Being a high-profile rapper likely made him a target for commissary and money, which raised concerns for his safety. This alerted the judge to the fact that Durk's life in prison was at risk, and that the law wasn't doing enough to protect him. There were also suspicions that Quando Rondo might be taking revenge on Durk while he's locked up in the same cell block. Even though Lil Tim and Quando Rondo were involved in separate incidents, their connection to Durk's situation remained a point of tension. Interviews both made the identical statement and released them on the same day. While some saw it as a strange coincidence, others think it was a tactic used by the feds to avoid targeting Quando Rondo and Lil Tim if anything was to occur to Lurk while he was incarcerated. Lil Tim, the perpetrator of the deed against King Vav, stated that the whole thing should have been prevented, adding that Lil Durk sacrificed his life in an attempt to exact retribution for a few that he and Quando were content to settle, just protecting my little brother.
Protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, yeah, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying fucking shit like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never.
That's not how it went down, though. Quando Rondo expressed similar thoughts in another interview, saying he wished things had been handled differently. He pointed out that Lil Durk threw everything away, despite having a family, responsibilities, and a mother who loves him unconditionally. In the end, he said, "All this beef we're talking about is stupid. It could have been handled in a totally different way. A song and a few million could have come out of it, or whatever. It could have been dealt with without all this drama." Legit way, and due to his constant internal targeting, Lil Durk's life in prison has become extremely difficult. He has been transferred to numerous cell blocks, new sections, and an entirely different institution, increasing the possibility that he would be released under house arrest if this goes on. But Charleston White wasn't pleased, because he said the same thing about one W. Melly Melly, who feels that people like him and Bland W. Melly shouldn't be leading happy lives in prison, because they are accused of doing one of the most heinous acts imaginable. The YNW. I'm so happy he in jail get mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Homie, a homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a mothering thing about being mistreated when you done control to play somebody. As the likelihood of Lil Durk's release increased, it was time for the prosecutors to provide evidence against him in order to persuade the judge to deny it. They would begin with another. In a video clip, Brick Baby addressed the claim that Lil Durk never slid for King Von, saying it had been a long time since they got low PAB. After Durk's arrest, Brick Baby went live, reacting to his earlier interview, where he made the point that you can't claim Durk never slid, which suggested he may have played a role in bringing Lil Durk's name to the attention of the federal government. Members of Chicago's gang scene, with ties to Durk and OTF, were accused of being hired to attack Quando Rondo during the LA incident, where Lil Durk was allegedly among the suspects. The situation surrounding Lil Durk and his legal troubles is complex, and as investigations into his activities unfold, things continue to get even more tangled. If convicted, Lil Durk faced serious penalties, but the key question raised by many is whether the charges were based on an attempted hit or something else entirely. Prosecutors had a lot of evidence to sift through, and much of the narrative was shaped by others, particularly individuals like FBG Cash, who brought up federal charges in California. The case was about much more than just money or gang rivalries. It was a deep dive into the culture and the ongoing struggles between various factions. One of the first critical pieces of evidence the feds discovered was a video that seemed to show King Von Lil Durk's late friend, jewelry shopping with two individuals who had already been jailed. This video was crucial in piecing together Durk's involvement, or at least his connections to the scene. When investigators reviewed Durk's role, they noted his significant position in the hierarchy, a role that made it highly probable that the individuals involved might have sought retribution for Von's death. It wasn't just about the crime itself, it was about the cultural context in which these events were unfolding. This marked the beginning of a series of investigations into Durk's connections and his activities within OTF, his record label, and crew. But things quickly began to unravel when more pieces of the puzzle emerged. There were reports stating that Durk found out that his co-defendant, OTF Von, King Von's cousin, had filed for protective custody when they appeared in court together. This information caught the attention of Durk's best friend, OTF Jam, who seemed to be taken aback by the situation. On a live stream, Jam voiced his frustration, saying, "For real, y'all really trying to play Inspector Gadget and all this? Y'all just be weird as F********. That's what I be talking about. First, y'all threw the jams, the roars out there. Now y'all talking about a snitch gang? A snitch on what? Y'all don't even really know what's going on for real. My kids, y'all really just be running, and that's why I don't participate in anything illegal because of you. Y'all be trying to get them." Jam's words indicated how tense the situation had become. His frustration was clear. He was upset not just at the idea of being associated with snitching, but at how the public seemed to misunderstand the complexity of their lives. The legal battles, the street politics, and the media narratives all clashed in this confusing mix of reality and perception. For OTF Jam, it seemed like the media and others were quick to jump to conclusions about people they didn't truly understand, fueling speculation that he and others involved were being targeted unfairly. As the case continued to develop, DJ academics also weighed in on the situation, discussing the allegations surrounding OTF Jam's supposed involvement in snitching. Academics is known for his role in discussing hip-hop news, often sparking heated debates within the community. His commentary on OTF Jam seemed to add to the uncertainty surrounding the case, and it wasn't just about the accusations against Jam. It was about how much the public could truly know and how much of it was driven by headlines and rumors. When the media started to report on these events, it became clear that Lil Durk and his crew were facing a significant amount of pressure from both the authorities and the public. Academics pointed out how, when you see a headline, it's easy to assume that what's written is the truth. But things were rarely as simple as they seemed. Durk's legal team had to contend with these complexities, working tirelessly to clear his name while navigating the tangled web of street politics and public perception.
Durk Banks, so far I've seen one text that says don't have them associate my name with any kind of flights that they're taking. Certainly that's not a good text, but is that the only text? Because that in itself doesn't stand on its own. Certainly it's circumstantial. But like I said, we have to wait and see what other evidence they have. If they have a snitch, if they have videotapes or audio tapes of him saying something, I think that's a lot different than, hey, just make sure you don't associate my name with these guys. So I'm hesitant to say that they have,
everyone's knowledge on stuff, because a lot of times these days the headline is way better. However, Lil Durk was aware that OTF Jam hadn't snitched, and he could ultimately make a grave error by calling from jail to claim he wasn't going into protective custody, even though this truly meant that OTF wasn't, because everything transpired within 8 hours. Just got off the phone with my brother Lil Durk. He's in good spirits, staying positive, and trying to get back home to his kids and family. We're not glorifying. We're more than just street guys. That's an understatement. We're men of honor, and we uphold the code no matter our financial status, said Durk. He emphasized that they don't hide behind protective custody and would hit the main line like anyone else. Despite Lil Durk claiming that he wasn't going into protective custody, the code served as a signal to the public that OTF Jam wasn't the one behind certain actions. In a separate conversation, Durk expressed his support, saying, "I know you're going through it, but if you need anything, I got you. Appreciate you, yeah, I know how that feels, but it don't matter. We ain't never moved our money, except for that first time. Once that happened, it was a wrap. Everything changed after that, Durk said. He added, "I can't act like I don't know where you're from or what you've been through. If you're in PC, just send me upstairs, whatever it is, I got you." DJ Academics later revealed the truth, noting that Lil Durk wanted to make it clear that OTF Jam wasn't snitching, even though he was facing a lot of trouble for it. Jam was relocated to different cell blocks and had his phone privileges restricted as a result. Reduced to a very minimal amount of minutes per day again. With all due respect to the guy's fighting for his life, I get it, maybe for whatever reason, which I still think would be a dumb reason. Let's say that Durk wants to address the people. You know how you put this out, you say, "Yo Durk, we on," you let him say what he's saying to the public, and you cut it off. We don't need to hear why back and forth, because a lot of this audio kind of feels like maybe this wasn't how Durk wanted to first communicate with everybody in. Anything Lil Durk does will go viral, and even if it's a conversation made in good faith, it can still blow up. People think he doesn't move off money, but honestly, it never seems to hurt Durk's reputation. No one appears to be spying on him either. His lawyer, in fact, made a statement that he would soon announce Durk's potential release date. Bradford Cohen, attorney for Kodak Black, mentioned that Lil Durk has a solid chance of beating the King Von and Quando Rondo revenge case, unless OTF members testify against him, including Durk Banks. Just make sure you don't ask Neat my name with these guys. So, I'm hesitant to say that they have, a slam dunk case on it's still very early in the case. But if the feds don't have enough evidence to prove that Lur did it without a reasonable doubt, it's possible that his lawyers could get him free. But that's without hearing the audio recordings that OTF Jam picked up with his wire for the last 2 years. A famous rap lawyer revealed Durk's release date, and what it could be depends on the hunger of the U.S. attorney and the assistant U.S. attorney, AUSA, involved is clear. If they want someone badly enough, they'll offer very attractive deals to get what they need. So, what does a very attractive deal look like? It often means going for the lowest hanging fruit, someone who was involved but didn't actually pull the trigger, or someone who was part of the situation but didn't directly harm anyone. They'll rely on forensics to build their case, and they'll go after whoever is the least culpable, offering them a deal to testify or provide information. I think they'll approach him with the most attractive deal possible. If that person doesn't take the deal, they'll move on to the next person. That's usually how it goes. They go after the lowest hanging fruit first, the person who might flip, someone who wasn't deeply involved. What's also interesting about the indictment is that it wasn't just about money. It could have been about money, but it could also have been about career advancement. They might be using both as leverage to get people to cooperate.